Okay, I wanted to go through two of my projects that I did for this semester. The first one that I am going to go through is a math game that I created for one of my future math classes. And you could use this for any grades. You would just have to go through and change the content to fit whatever you are teaching. So my rules for this is that the class would be split into 3 groups, and you would each take turns solving the question and writing the answer on a whiteboard individually. The groups are not allowed to help the person who's writing on the board, and the writer will come to the board with a new, or each writer will come to the board with a new question. You get 10 points for solving the question quickly, 5 points for taking a little longer, and then 1 point for taking longer than that. The group members caught helping the writer will be disqualified. Not answering the question is no points, and the teacher has a little bit of a role going back through all of this. This game fits the NETS standards for students in a couple different ways. Specifically, it could be part of the research and information fluency. You could put all kinds of research questions into this game and have it be fun and still be a study tool for students. It could also be critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making. This is a game that requires a lot of quick thinking, and yeah. And then the last one might be technology operations and concepts. You could have students create their own game. You could have them go through and create questions that we could then put into this game. And it covers such large concepts. I mean, you could do this with almost any subject, but it works really well for math in particular. So I'll just go through a couple of the slides. This is the scoreboard for this one, and you have links here back to all of the different questions, and you could put for round 1, you could put the points that each team had for all the different rounds. So the question 1 is for 10 points. All the answers are on the board and you need to pick one. This is the question that they need to answer. And then it's set up to where the presentation will switch sides quickly. I think this one gets like 7 seconds or something like that. And then it takes away some of the answers, so that way it's a little easier to figure out. And then it switches to one point where there's just two answers. And then it gives you the answer, and then we could talk about it, and then you could click this link here and it would take you back to the scoreboard so that the teacher could put in how many points the students got for that round. So that one was kind of fun. So this is the movie about my dog looking for his chew bone. I made this through Movie Maker, and I filmed it with my iPhone. Some of the NETS for students that this might fit into would be creativity and innovation. You could have students do movies about almost anything. With just a simple smartphone, they might be able to record a documentary or something along those lines for any subject, really. Another one that this would fit would be critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making. In order to put a movie like this together, you have to really think about the content of it, how you're going to film it, how you're going to edit it, put it together, what kind of mood do you have. There's so much that goes into doing one of these things. It took me a couple hours to do this one, so I can't imagine what a longer one would be. And digital citizenship. This is really important these days with the abuse of technology and abuse of each other through technology. So you would almost have to teach a citizenship course about using the internet and that kind of thing to make something responsible. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit here. Here we go. There we found his Chewy. There's my dog. His name is Chowder. He got rid of that bone in about 5 minutes. I have one more NETS to talk about. It's the technology operations and concepts. This would fit both the game that I talked about before and the in this movie, because large concepts have to be synthesized and brought together, and the operations of using the technology with this are super important. You have to know how to use it and why it's important, and make sure that you put something together that makes sense. So I enjoyed doing these. Thank you so much.